The TorbayHour radio show, brought to you by the Babacom Inn Christmas Party Night.
Good evening, it is the TorbayHour radio show. Hi, it's Rick here. We've got Martin in the studio. We've got a full studio this week, actually, because we have, and we're on our best behaviour, we have Sergeant Sheps.
Good evening.
The police are amongst us. If you've never tuned in before, the way this works is by now you are already tweeting on the TorbayHour. We are here alongside you on the radio, and we provide an audio accompaniment to the hour talking business. So if you have a question, if you'd like to get in touch, then feel free. You can do it via Twitter. It is the easiest way. We are all tweeting tonight. We need to be very careful, actually. David Cameron got in trouble over saying something like that, and he'll never live that one down. So, good week all round?
Excellent week, thank you.
Indeed. Good. Specifically tonight, now each week we have a specialist guest. We've had pensions advice, we've had legal advice, we've had financial advice, all kinds of things. Tonight we're going to be talking crime prevention, how that affects businesses in Torbay and South Devon as well. Is there anything which we can't touch on?
No, you can ask away. I'll always just say no if I can't say anything about it, but most of it I'll be looking at sort of cybercrime tonight, as it's obviously Twitter and stuff like that, so we'll be looking at some useful websites that you can go onto and hopefully protect your business.
The police have really kind of taken to Twitter big time, and there's so many either police officers or PCSOs that either listen to the show or take part in the TorbayHour, and you see them all the time. How have you found that Twitter and social media as a whole has affected policing?
Social media for us is absolutely brilliant because it brings a human side of policing. Up to now, unfortunately, you've only had commercial radio stations, newspapers and things like that, so you're actually not hearing from the boys and girls on the street. This actually gives us the opportunity to speak to people absolutely direct and tell them what's going on there and then.
Is there that immediacy? I mean, is it a real case of sort of lost moments cost lives?
Absolutely. I mean, you only have to look at over the weekend, lost person search manager job over at Babacom. Within an hour of me putting out the first tweet and the first Facebook feed, we had over 10,000 people reached. I mean, that is just amazing. That's something you can't do anywhere else. Brilliant.
All right, we'll find out more about the policing in Torbay and South Devon, cybercrime and things like that as the hour goes on. So if you have a question, Sergeant Sheps is here in the studio. You can send him a tweet. Your text is just simply, your Twitter tag is exactly that,
exactly
isn't it?
That, at Sergeant Sheps.
Very, very simple. So do that, or you can do it for the TorbayHour, and we will post your questions just as soon as we can. It is as easy as that. Now, as is custom, we have an account of the week. We also have our 140-second tweets. More on those as the hour progresses. But it's time to get our account of the week on this week, which is very easy for me to say. It's probably because the kind of cake lust is building up, and we do have cake in the studio. We like that. Let's do some of this, though.
The featured accounts with the Works Torbay. Flexible, affordable workspace. A new way of working and doing business.
Okay, our account of the week this week, Martin, is...
Team K.
Team K, and Donella represents Team K. And Donella, tell us what you do. Hello?
Well, basically, we're a technical company, and we offer IT services and technical repairs. We offer that to businesses and to home users in and around Devon. So we do anything from fixing a phone, which is quite a small job, up to supporting several hundred servers if required.
Now, I have to declare an interest here because you've actually fixed a PlayStation for me, which was all fine. So,
good.
But, I mean, there is so much technology in everybody's lives, and it's becoming more and more disposable, really, isn't it? Even phones, really. There's so much of a temptation to just go, I'll get another one.
Yeah.
But they cost a lot of money.
Well, not only that, I think it's difficult to find repair companies. I mean, how Team K started, it started quite a while ago, about 7-8 years ago. Our daughters had the Game Boys, little game, you know.
I know them well, with Tetris.
Yeah. We're talking a few years ago, so things have moved on a lot since then. But they kept breaking them, and we couldn't find anywhere to repair them. So, being quite technical ourselves, we thought, right, let's take them apart and have a look and see what we can do. So it sort of all stemmed from there, really, the fixing of the gadgets and things like that. And we thought, well, if we're having trouble finding somewhere, surely other people are as well.
Undoubtedly. I mean, funnily enough, just before we came on air, we were talking about printers. And I guess loads of people have problems. It normally works out cheaper to buy a new printer than to buy new ink sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But can you help with that kind of thing as well?
Well, to be honest, it depends on whether you can get parts as to whether a repair is economical or not. So items that commonly break, you can get the parts more readily, and the parts are relatively inexpensive, so that it makes it cost effective to do the repair. But with some repairs, you find that by the time you find a part and then add the labour on, sometimes it's actually cheaper to buy new. And we quite often find that with printers, to be honest.
Yeah, I bet. Do you find, is it then really that the domestic side of things, fixing PlayStations and mobiles and all that kind of stuff, is now a kind of small part of the business, and the majority is the kind of business infrastructure support?
Actually, no, it's probably about 50-50, to be honest.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we have, obviously, the two separate sides. We have the consumer side, and that tends to be like you said, the phones, the PlayStations, the laptops, the computers, that kind of thing. And then the other side is the business side, where, because we've got a background in corporate IT, we've both been in IT for over 20 years, you've got the other side where businesses use different type of equipment. So, you've got your networks, and then you've got your computers, and then you've got your servers and everything sitting in behind. But it's probably about 50-50, I'd say.
So how much of your time is spent giving advice? Because presumably, especially when you're dealing with corporate networks, people don't just pitch up and go, right, I'd like a server 2008 and I'd like 15 workstations. They're probably looking for someone to tell them what they need, really, aren't they? That's
it, yeah. There's a lot more work goes into it up front. By the time you go in, you have a talk with them, you get their requirements, and then with anything technical, there's always more than one option. So we like to give different options for them, and that might include options they hadn't considered might be suitable. And then by the time you get together all of the hardware costs and how much time you think it will take to implement, there's quite a lot of work that goes in up front on the business side.
So do you find that you can do more and more of the support work, certainly remotely, rather than having to go to people's premises?
Yes. These days there's been great advances in the technology for remote support. We've actually got a remote support application that we use, and it creates a secure tunnel. So we can use that to assist businesses. So it reduces the time to get people back up and running, basically, because they don't have to wait for us to drive to their location to start looking at a problem. But we also use it for, home users as well. If they've got a problem, sometimes, we can just connect in remotely and take a look and see what problem they've got, and it gets things working a lot quicker.
Now, you hear it a lot. Certainly, I think around Christmas, there's always consumer advice around if you're buying computers and laptops and things, people tend to get scammed by these. Someone rings you up and tells you, oh, you've got a virus. Tell you what, give us 100 quid and we'll wipe it clean and stuff like that. Do you offer a service to say someone was considering buying a laptop for, I don't know, maybe a parent, maybe a child or something like that? Can you offer that kind of complete end-to-end help and sort of then ongoing support?
Yes, we do quite a lot of virus removal, especially from laptops. So we can offer end-to-end sort of advice and support, whether it's a home user or a business, but we don't do any sales, so we don't sell products. If we're putting together a solution, we can incorporate buying bits of hardware for the solution, but we're not a shop ourselves.
That's good in a way, because it means you're not tied to a particular manufacturer or anything like that, so you're going to get genuinely impartial advice.
Yes, that's right, yes. Whenever we look at any solution, we kind of look across the board at the different types of hardware, so we're not tied to any supplier or any provider.
How much have you found, I mean, certainly with the way that I sort of take computing around now with tablets or even sort of mobile phones and that, has shifted away. I used to have, I've still got somewhere, an absolute monster of a laptop. It's huge. In fact, you could probably build a house on it. And I loved it. And I really did love it. And when I got the iPad, I then thought, wow, that's it. The laptop's kind of dead. Have you found a shift, even in business computing terms, towards using tablets and mobile devices?
Yes, definitely. We haven't got a Tower PC ourselves because we just find that laptops and tablets are able to provide the computing needs that we need. And I think workforces are becoming more mobile as well, so people want to be able to respond to what they need to do for their business, whether they're out and about or whether they're at home. They don't want to be tied to a location and have to go back and sit at a PC, a workstation desk to get the job done. So yes, definitely mobile computing is the way everybody's moving at the moment.
Now, we've been talking about it, and obviously this is the TorbayHour radio show, so where are you actually based?
Okay, well, our head office is in Torquay, so definitely within Torbay. And we've also got an office just opened today in Exeter.
Wow. Very timely then. So give us the contact details about how we'd get in touch.
Okay, well, you can go onto our website and get, there's a lot of information on there about the different types of repairs we do and some of the fixed price repairs. Or you can email us at help@teamk.co.uk, or you can give us a ring. Our main number is 01803 21 31 57.
Brilliant. Now, just, between us, how often is a fix, turn it off and switch it on again?
Well, yeah, that definitely does solve a lot of problems. But we do tend to say to people, have you rebooted it before you bring it into us? So, we've already gone through that check first.
You've gone through that check. That makes it sound really grand, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is actually a lot of truth in it. It just allows all of the electronics on the board to discharge fully. So, it does actually resolve some issues. So, if in doubt, always have a reboot first.
Excellent. All right, give us the phone number once more.
Okay, it's 01803 21 31 57.
Brilliant. And, of course, we can get in touch via Twitter as well.
Yes, that's correct. We're on there as well.
Excellent. Thank you for being our account of the week.
Thank you very much.
And have a happy Christmas.
Already?
It's in 8 weeks' time it's all over.
I know, you're getting in there quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're the first person to wish us a happy Christmas.
There you go, it's an
Thank
achievement.
you very much.
Righty-ho. OK, off you go and reboot it, and we'll speak to you again soon.
All right, thank you.
The Featured Accounts with the Works Torbay. Flexible, affordable workspace. A new way of working and doing business.
Cheeky Christmas mention there. Sorry.
I'm not sure I want to talk to you.
All right, it's the TorbayHour radio show. It is Monday night. It's coming up to 8:15. Brought to you, of course, by the Babacom Inn and their Christmas party nights. We have in the studio Sergeant Sheps. Now, we've flurry of questions coming in.
They are. They're coming in thick and fast, aren't they? The power of Twitter.
Absolutely. What have we got?
The first one was that we've recently shut down a legal high shop in Exeter, and are we planning to do any more? Well, I can tell you the legislation used, it's got nothing to do with the actual shop itself. It's actually to do with antisocial behaviour, what is actually created by the shop and round and about, and all the problems that associate in the street. So I can say that if there are any problems from any other premises, and it doesn't have to be a legal high shop, could be anything at all, that legislation can be used. But as far as I'm aware, that's the first time in England that's been used against a legal high shop.
Okay. And that, so effectively it's serving an ASBO against a business rather than an individual? Yeah,
it's actually closed it down as well for a while until they actually go to court, and the court will hear all the evidence and then decide whether or not they'll stay closed.
Actually, the kind of the process of dealing with people is changing. It's been in the news recently, isn't it? Because there's a change in the way, or they're testing it in some local force areas over cautions.
Yeah, they are. There's something. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how it's being done. But I mean, we actually do something called conditional cautions already, and it's been in for a very long time, where we can actually do letters of apology and make financial retribution to people and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is. Maybe there's an election coming.
You cynic. Anyway, we got you in here not to talk about changes in crime and punishment, otherwise we'll be here for the rest of the year, which is precisely about 8 weeks away, but we won't worry about that. So let's talk about business. Let's talk about policing and business and crime prevention, more importantly, because it's far easier to prevent it rather than mop up afterwards, isn't it?
Absolutely. And one of the first things I wanted to talk to everybody about is something, there's a website out there called immobilise.com.
Right.
And basically, you can, all your techno gadgets, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Twitter and stuff like that. So we've all got our iPads out here and phones and all sorts of stuff. You can go onto this site and register that stuff for free.
Wow.
Your serial numbers, you can put photos up there, you can put bikes on there, you can put all sorts of things on there. And if you are unfortunate enough to be a victim of crime, every police force has got access to that. And if it's found, we can trace you back again very, very quickly. Obviously, if it isn't, then a phone's a phone and it's really difficult to trace. And that's why you must, whatever you do, get your IMEI number off your phone. So when Santa drops that lovely little phone down the chimney, okay, in, what was it, 7 weeks' time?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, okay. When Santa drops it down the chimney, first thing you do before you rip, make sure you know what the IMEI number is. Record it, get on Immobilise and get it registered.
Simple as that. Right. Now let's talk about physical crime prevention, not against the person, but against business premises, because one way or another there is always going to be an office, a shop front or something like that, really, with most businesses, even if you're working from home. Crime prevention in a business place, I mean, burglar alarms, monitored alarms, things like that, there's sort of the obvious ones. What else can businesses, small businesses or individual traders do? Maybe if you're thinking of like an electrician or a plumber who's working out of a van, what are the simple steps that they can do to sort of make themselves less of a target?
Always look on sort of like information security websites. That's your point, because like anything, times change and crimes change along with them, and you'll see that the actual physical crimes that you're talking about, things getting stolen and cars and theft from cars and things like that, have actually really nosedived. And what you're now looking at is credit card fraud and internet fraud and all those sort of things. So websites like Action Fraud, which is the National Police website for any type of fraud and stuff like that, is absolute must for any business to go onto and just see what it is the latest thing that's going on there. Yeah, is that person who's buying your goods and your services, are they legit, and have they actually given you a real credit card detail? Because ultimately it could be you losing out on hundreds of pounds. And I say it changes literally on a daily basis, and they are the best people. Action Fraud. Go onto the website, have a look, and they'll be able to give you up-to-date information how things are changing.
All right, now we'll make sure that we either tweet or we have a record of all of the details of all the websites that you give us this evening. So, Martin, there's your homework for this evening. Pay attention there.
Oh, what?
Stand to attention.
He's doing really well, actually.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. Right, okay, so yes, we'll get all of those available. Now, we're really lucky. The part of the country that we're living here in South Devon, compared with living in an inner city area, is relatively low in those physical crimes. But presumably the kind of cybercrime that we're talking about there, it doesn't actually matter where you are. You're just as likely to be a victim of it sitting in a secluded house on Dartmoor as you are in a city flat.
Absolutely. Borders mean nothing, don't they, for cybercrime? You know, you can be talking to someone literally all the way around the other side of the world and you just wouldn't know. So you have to be on your guard. I put a little piece in the press the other day about a little man walking down Torquay High Street. Would you give them £100 for a watch if he said he was going to nip around the corner and go and get it? Because you know as well as I do, you would never see that £100 again. And yet we see it every day, and as one of the crime managers for Torbay Police, I see all the crimes coming in, I look at them, I try and work out where they're going, and every day you get somebody who comes on and says, I was on Facebook and a friend of a friend of a friend said, oh, I've got this, all you got to do is just wire me this cash and I'll give you the goods and I'll post them to you. And people do it. The old moral is, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Do you know, that constantly amazes me. You hear all the time people saying, oh, I got a cold call from someone. It sounded so genuine. He was a really nice young man, and he just said, just send him £500 and it'll be the best investment I ever made. And it
will be the best investment for him.
Absolutely, yeah. But you think, how does anyone fall for that? But they genuinely do, don't they?
Yeah, they genuinely do. Unfortunately, people do all the time. One of the things that I would say is that emails, you get these phishing emails. Yeah. We've probably all had them, your NatWest Bank account and everything like that. They're getting really, really clever. They are looking more and more every day like the actual thing you would see. If you're any doubt at all about an email you receive, never ever click through the link that comes with the email. bin the email, and then go through the internet properly to your bank's website and check it that way. But never ever click on the link.
Is there a kind of catch-all fraud prevention site that you could forward it onto? Do the police or trading standards or someone like that operate anything?
Actually, each bank actually operates that one. So if you do get one from NatWest, and most of the time it's something on the lines of spoof at and then the name of the bank,
right,
is how it normally works. But each bank does that. Again, Action Fraud is the catch-all for all of the police's any type of fraud, including cybercrime.
Right, excellent. We will delve more into crime, cybercrime, physical crime. If you've got any questions, you want to get in touch, Sergeant Sheps is here until 9 tonight. Ask your questions, we'll deal with them on air. If you want to do it via Twitter as well, you can, of course. Sergeant Sheps is his tag. Now, every week on the show, we also like to highlight some of the music. There is a rich talent of music in Torbay and South Devon. We've had some fantastic acts on the show. It's time for another one. Now, I sent out a message earlier on saying that we were looking for more acts to feature, and instantly had a Twitter message come in, actually. Now, this one is from, well, it's a brand new song, actually. The Hot House Band got in touch and sent me an MP3, which is all you need to do, and this is called Island Refuge. Hot House Band, and that's called Island Refuge. We like that. It's kind of, it makes it feel warm all of a sudden.
Rather than 7 weeks to Christmas.
Yes. Anyway, it is the TorbayHour radio show with, of course, the Babacamin and their Christmas party nights. Martin, what is going on Twitter tonight?
We have a couple of newbies. We have at Blue Walnut Cafe.
Ah, they host a lot of jazz evenings and things like that there.
Do they?
Yeah, it's good.
Fantastic. We'll have some music from them then, please.
Good, okay.
And at Rowley's Totnes, the Fudge People.
Ah, yes.
They're asking everyone, do they like fudge?
Yes. Simple. Simple. Actually, we have a bizarre, well, it's incredible. I left the studio for 5 minutes earlier on. All of a sudden there was a phantom cake delivery.
Oh no, we've had 2 cake deliveries today.
Which is great. We should tweet a photograph of the collection before they get attacked.
I was going to say, it's already out there.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. See, I know I'm on the wrong side of the monitor, so I don't get to see what's happening. Presumably, most of the pile's gone now.
Yeah.
Sergeant Sheps is in the studio with us as well. We're talking crime. We're talking crime prevention, crime in Torbay and South Devon. What is the most prolific type of crime that we're victims of in this part of the world, as a business community rather than individuals?
Business community, it's unfortunately forward-facing shops. It's shoplifting is one of the biggest ones at the moment. There is something in the pipeline. We've been working on it a long time. Something called DTAC is coming, which is Digital Torbay Against Crime, which very soon, hopefully, we will have an ability for shops to come and actually link up onto our system. It's going to be completely free. There's always a good word. And we will actually be posting some of our most prolific offenders for towns. And what we're hoping to do is that we're going to make it a very uncomfortable place for them to be, so that it means as they walk downtown, every shop will know them, and hopefully every shop will say, no thank you, not in our shop.
Sounds good.
It sounds like a brilliant idea. I like it. There must be something that you can do if you know someone's mobile phone number, because it's giving off details all the time. You could almost track them, follow them by their own GPS tag.
Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? I think probably people get a little bit worried about the police having access to things like that, and unfortunately we don't. So
unfortunately we don't. I think the rest of us are very pleased.
But this is going to allow all the business community to link into one website, completely and utterly secure. It's going to have photographs on them. It's going to be a two-way communication as well, shops and premises. And we're not just talking about commercial shops, we're talking about cafes, we're talking about tourist information centres, we're talking about pubs, we're talking about clubs. The whole shooting match, everybody can be on there, and we can basically have a two-way communication feed. They can tell us what's happening, and we can tell them what's happening. It's also going to be quite good for safety, because we do get a lot of missing people in town centres, especially children, and it's going to be very, very useful. We'll be able to do what we call an alert broadcast very, very quickly, and all those people signed up will get an emergency email straight away, which will just be able to put photos out and give alerts out almost instantaneously. Again,
there was a national news story today about a kind of countrywide or international app relating specifically to sort of missing children and things like that, because the Amber Alert scheme has been running in America for some time, hasn't it?
It has, and something is coming this way as well that's going to do that, but this is going to be on a much more local level, on a much more sort of Torbay thing.
And I guess that makes the whole thing more manageable as well, because if you're trying to deal with an inflow of information from across the country, it's simply too large, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the good thing about this system as well is it means that, we have had the scenario last summer where a shoplifter would get on a £1 boat and go across to Brixham, and because they weren't known in Brixham, they would just almost go through the whole community and nobody would know them. Now with this system, it doesn't matter where they are in the bay, everybody will have that same picture of those same prolific offenders.
So there's a data protection issue with this, isn't there? Because if you're putting photographs out of presumably suspected shoplifters at that point, where can I draw the line? If I see Martin walking down the road and I think, I don't like the look of him, he's a bit shifty, if I then post a photograph and say, I suspect this guy of shoplifting, where does that leave the individual? What rights have they got to make sure that image is removed?
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the big hold up at the moment for making the system go live. What we are going to do, it's going to be people that are prolific, so that's more than one offence, and it is controlled and administrated by only a couple of people. So although the shops can pass the information back through that they suspect, etc., most of that will just be used as intelligence information. It will only be information passed back out that is accurate and proportionate. So, if somebody is moving away from the area, they will be removed. But if they're a prolific offender, and the shops and the businesses in Torbay know these people anyway, most of them, it's those ones that we want to target and we want to tell everybody about.
Right, more on that in a few moments' time. It's time for one of these.
The 140-second pitch. Sponsored by Torbay Discount Card. Torbay's community discount card.
Okay, the 140-second pitch. It is 140 seconds for you to try and sell your business. Tell us who you are, where you are, what you do, and how to get in touch and stuff like that. First up today is the Horizon Centre, and your 140 seconds starts now.
So, hi, I'm Katie. I'm the marketing manager of the Horizon Centre, which is a training and research facility based at Torbay Hospital. The centre predominantly serves the NHS workforce, providing a state-of-the-art environment where staff can explore new ideas, learn new techniques and reflect on clinical practice together. However, we've recently opened the centre to outside organisations and companies to hire our rooms for events such as meetings, interviews, training or networking events or even conferences. We've got 13 rooms in total available for hire. They're all equipped with the latest technology and they can be booked during the day, of an evening or over the weekend. And next week, on Thursday the 13th of November, we're hosting our very first open night and business networking event between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. The aim of the event is to promote our excellent facilities, allow our guests to tour the building and see what we have to offer and how we can be of use to them when planning their own events. We've got approximately 50 local businesses on our guest list so far, including the Herald, Kitchen Solicitors and the Mayor of Torbay. There'll be a presentation by James Twigger from Francis Clark Accountants, also one half of TorbayHour, as some of you may know. Drink and food will be supplied, as well as the opportunity to meet other local businesses from the area. So if anyone would like to book onto the event, you can call on 01803 656600 and choose option 1, or you can contact us direct through our website, which is sdhct.nhs.net/Horizon Centre, or you can contact me direct via Twitter, and our handle is @HorizonTorquay.
Brilliant. So if someone was booking you to arrange a function or event, a presentation or anything, can you do the catering for that as well?
Yep, catering is available, but we would have to discuss what you'd like.
Fair enough.
We can have a conversation first, see what you'd need, how many people will be attending, and we'll go from there. But catering is available, yes.
Brilliant. Give us the phone number one more time, Kaylee.
It's 01803 656600 and choose option 1.
Couple of seconds spare there. It's much harder than it sounds to try and fill up 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It sounds like, when you say 140 seconds, it sounds like it's no time at all, doesn't it? 2 minutes 20 is a lot longer.
Yeah, but it's 2 minutes 20 to promote your business.
That's
for
right.
free.
That's right. If you fancy being one of our 140-second pitches, get in touch during the week. Send Martin a message. Do it via Twitter. It's the easiest way. And you could be on next week's shows. Just after 8:30. It is the TorbayHour radio show, sponsored, of course, by the Babacom Inn and their Christmas party nights. More details about that, of course, on the website. And you can get that via the TorbayHour website. Don't forget as well, there is also a chance via the YouTube channel to listen to any of the shows again. So if you don't get some information down, if you're thinking, I missed something, I want to hear it again, chance to do that via the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search for TorbayHour.
That's the one.
We like to make it easy. We really do. Now, let's carry on talking crime. Now, presumably, one of the biggest challenges that you've got is, much like every other business, a government department, whatever, you've got to try and achieve more for considerably less money.
Absolutely, and that's where Twitter and Facebook and all the rest comes in. Really, really useful, because it allows us to get information out there a lot quicker and a lot faster than any other way, and it allows the public to communicate with us as individuals rather than having to go through a call centre or something like that, which is exactly what's happening tonight. Tweets are coming in all the time, notifications, people saying thank you very much, etc. One of the sites I really would like to plug tonight is something called checkmend.com.
Okay.
Reason behind that is you do, unfortunately, this one isn't free. You do have to put a little bit of money towards it, but it allows you to check to see whether a device that you are buying is stolen. Basically, any phone that gets stolen, as long as you know the image.
Sorry.
Concentrate on what you're doing rather than eating cake. For goodness sake.
Who put that post there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Dear.
Somebody was asking whether the show's live. Yes, it is.
We got to photograph that. Yeah.
It's a bigger cloud.
Anyway, yes, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, as long as you've got your IMEI number and as long as you've told your phone company that the phone's been stolen, it gets uploaded onto a national database. And much like you can do checks with cars, HPI checks, and check whether they've been stolen or anything like that, you can now do it with phones. Use checkmen.com. Costs you a little bit of money, but if you're buying £400-500 a second-hand phone, I think a couple of quid to know that it hasn't been stolen and isn't blocked is good.
This is the thing, the amount of technology that we carry around, because phones quite often are free, aren't they, when you get a contract, so you don't necessarily, I know that the cost is built into the contract, but you don't necessarily attach that monetary value psychologically.
And that's a really, really big problem, because you still see, don't you, you walk down the street, you go past a row of cars, and there will be the iPhone or Galaxy Tab sat in the windscreen, won't it, being used as a sat-nav. And I tried to say to people, do you know what, would you leave £700 of crisp £10 notes on your dashboard? nobody in their
no,
room.
no,
Of course they're not.
No, Marty might, but yeah.
Of course you wouldn't.
I wish.
And yet, that's exactly what you're doing, basically. If you've left your phone in your car on display because you're using it as a sat-nav, then you're leaving 700 quid.
Yeah, and if you then add that to the pad as well, and designer sunglasses and all of the other stuff, I mean, because when you get your car insurance, they say, oh, and you're covered for £200 worth of personal belongings in the car as well, and you think, well, that's more than enough. But just the stuff which you routinely carry is over £1,000, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we're not even talking new stuff here. So we're talking second-hand phones and pads and things like that as well. But it's not just the monetary value of the actual goods itself. Just think how much information you have got floating around inside those electronic gubbins, and think how much the value that is. You only have to have your credit card details registered on it or something similar, and you could start talking thousands.
I mean, I've set mine so if you try the password more than 3 times or something, it nukes all the data.
Yeah, and there are loads and loads of apps, and there are loads and loads of sort of security things that you can buy off of the app stores and all the other sort of things, you know, but unfortunately people don't use them.
There is an app you can get on it, which as soon as you open it, if you try and type in the password wrong, it takes a photograph of you and then tweets it or something. Yeah. People have been actually arrested, haven't they, as a result of that?
Absolutely. In fact, it was only the other night that we had a lady come through who had unfortunately left her phone in a pub or club, and had gone walkabouts, but came straight back, used one of these fantastic apps, and we were knocking on the person's door about 5 minutes later.
We like that. We definitely like that. All right, well, more on crime and crime prevention, and also there's no avoiding it. In the build-up to Christmas as well, obviously, there's a whole, presumably, specialist amount of crimes that go on around that, not least of which is just the physical burglary of presents that people have bought in the run-up to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things is after Christmas, you know, when you're getting rid of all the boxes and the paper and everything like that. And we love to recycle in Torbay. We've got those lovely open bins, haven't we, where we put all our stuff. So, of course, everybody puts there, and they put all the packaging of all the lovely new goods they've got. Well, you might as well just put your shopping list outside your front door.
Okay. That's a good tip, and I'd not thought about that until you said it, but more on that for you very, very soon. It's just after 25 to 9. It is the TorbayHour radio show. We're going to find out what's going on Twitter tonight.
Right.
Have you got an empty mouth, finally?
I've got an empty mouth. It's fine. Creamy cake. Can I just apologise for any noises going on in the backgrounds? That is mini me. He's been told to be quiet and he's found his tablet. Right, so we've got going online. Huntley Lettings, they're finding it really useful information on the radio show with Sergeant Sheps, so that's good.
Good.
Torquay Museum, they've got a free weekend hit there on the 15th and 16th of November with loads of activities going on there.
Do you know, this is a great time to go and do some of the attractions which you might never have been to. So many, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, we live here, but we don't necessarily do all of the things.
No, never.
So Babbacombe Model Village, the Kent's Cavern, Torquay Museum, places which you might not have been to in years. This is a great time to do it because it's much quieter.
It is much quieter, and of course, it's getting Christmassy.
Yes.
And there's loads going on. They're really pushing it for locals. I know, like, Kent's Cavern's got stuff going on in the caves. They've got, like, shows going on in the caves and stuff like that at the moment.
Really good. Anyway, yes, so I interrupted. So Torquay Museum.
Torquay Museum. So, they've got their free weekend, 15th to the 16th of November, with a load of activities going on there too. Buckland Abbey, they've got the perfect Christmas gift on the same weekend. They've got their craft fair. So it looks like it'll be a big weekend that weekend.
Do you know, it's impossible. If you're trying to organise an event, it's impossible to try and find one where it is just you.
Exactly.
It just can't be done.
It never happens. Remembrance Sunday's coming up, so Studley Knoll have their Remembrance service at 10:40 on the 10th of the 11th. And what else have we got going on? Actually, I did a message on our Facebook page earlier. I said I'd give people a mention on there. So we are South Devon. They say they think they should get an awesome message because they're awesome.
Can I just say as well, we are South Devon. Thank you very much for Saturday and for my missing person search, because you generated probably about 5,000 responses across my system, which was absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. Well done, guys.
There you go. That's better than any thank you I can give them. We've also got Andy Gate. If you're commercial insurance, I think he's PSP. So if he's on his commercial insurance pitch. And the Secret Kitchen Torbay, they are indoor and outdoor catering specialists running a pitch on the Woodland Industrial Estate Torquay next to B&Q. Homemade burgers and butcher's quality meat, fresh daily.
Right. Excellent. Keep them coming tonight. Twitter is the way forward because that's what we're all watching in the studio here. Hashtag of Torbay Hour is the way forward. It's coming up to 20 to 9 right now. More crime prevention and general police-related matters before 9 o'clock tonight. You know, we need to make this a Torbay 2-hour show before too long. I can see it happening. We need to cram in another song. We've got another 140-second pitch on the way soon. Now, this next tune is from an outfit called Land of the Giants. If you've not heard of them, they're big on the festival circuit. They're about to start recording some new material at the Music Mill as well, which is great. This song, though, is available for free to download from their website. So if you pop along to see them, landofthegiantsmusic.co.uk, you can get this. It's called All Right, Cheryl.
Come on, she got some in the city, yeah. Her eyes are wide and the lips ain't quivering. Get on, there's your voice so familiar. I say no, you can't make it alone. Too long, the old folk control is older. She been tired of dried up down in her own town. Get on, so hell with the beast and his will top power. Cause now's the week, the day, the hour. Oh yeah, 10,000 things and no one's just a day. Oh yeah, you give no games to the people and the people who play. Oh yeah, first time in a new city today. First time, oh yeah. Get on, there's a new player on the stage. Her eyes are wide, her fear is fading. I wish I could have turned to your face and share us a new page. In love and out of control. Oh yeah, 10,000 things and no one's just a day. Oh yeah, you give no games to the people and the people who play. Oh yeah, first time in a new city today. First time, oh tell me all about the high hopes, the tie ropes in your circus mind. About the sex scenes, the daydreams that you long to find. Don't worry about the fallen woman that you leave behind you, girl. It's alright, Cheryl, tonight. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Land of the Giants, and that's All Right, Cheryl. We like that. Big seal of approval in studio here.
It's very good.
So if you like that song, you can get it from their website. Go and download it. It's absolutely free. There are other albums on their website as well. And if you've done the festival circuit this summer, you will have seen them. They're great. They well, certainly when I saw them, they sort of stripped off. It was hot. The drummer was virtually naked. There was brass everywhere. They were wandering around with bare feet. It was proper Land of the Giants.
Excellent.
Anyway, we'll move very swiftly on. Coming up to 8:45, it's the Torbay Hour radio show. We are, of course, live alongside the Twitter Torbay Hour, which is always a frantic hotbed of action. And it takes a long time to actually catch up with all of the messages, doesn't it? If you're going to sit down and go back through it, it takes some considerable time.
It takes a while. That's why we've got 3 people running the account. It's the only way we can keep up.
So what do you got coming in tonight?
So we've got Devon Top Days Out. Please support Devon Tourism and give the follow to Devon Top Days Out. So that basically goes off from what we were saying a minute ago.
Yeah.
Britain's Ocean is saying vote for Plymouth to have poppies outside their war memorial here. So it's a bit outside our area, but anything for the poppy appeal, I'm quite happy to push on that one. And also we had Brix Phil on earlier. He was pointing out that Brixham and Newton Abbot rugby teams are both higher in the league than Torquay United Soccer Club, if you worked it out along those lines. So that's pretty cool.
I love the way that sports people can get stats to prove anything. It's just fantastic.
A bit like politicians, really.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
similar.
So we'll always support rugby, because rugby and football are just not the same thing.
While we're talking there about Remembrance Day and charity collections, this is a huge potential area for fraud and people trying to be sort of dodgy around that. Do you get much of that in South Devon?
We haven't, lucky enough, at the moment, we haven't had a lot, and I know Torbay Council are very hot on all the licensing and what goes on in the streets and everything like that, and the shopkeepers themselves keep a very close eye on what's going on their premises, because obviously it affects their business as well, and everything like that. The bottom line is, if you have any doubt about anybody collecting anything, don't put it in their tin. Go onto an official site, look on the internet. The Poppy Appeal is a classic at the moment. They've got all sorts going on there and everything like that, although you can pretty much tell who the Poppy people are out there.
Generally, yeah. Now, if you are collecting in the street or anything like that, presumably you have to have some kind of ID badge or license, or you're going to have
and the
something.
tins have got to be sealed, and there's all sorts of rules and regulations around it. That's actually run by sort of the council and things like that. But I say, as normal with any type of fraud, any type of crime, anything like that, if you're in any doubt, just don't do it. Just
simple.
It's simple, yeah. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And if you're in any doubt and you think, that just doesn't feel right, your tummy's usually right.
Okay.
Unless you're hungry.
Well, not after that, no. we were talking about trying to achieve or do more policing for less money, which is the challenge which I assume all forces... Are you a force or a service? I've lost track these days.
Now, we were a constabulary.
Right.
When I joined, we were a constabulary in the good old days. We're a police service now, I believe. Devon and Cornwall Police Service. Yes, we're police.
All right, so does that mean you uphold the law or you enforce the law?
I'd like to think that we uphold. I don't like enforce.
No, okay.
No, we police by consent. If everybody in the country didn't want us, they'd soon let us know. So I think we've still got the majority backing of the public.
Good. So what's the relationship like between the business community and the police? Is it a sort of decent, is there good lines of communication? And
yeah, there are good lines of communication, and with the Safe Communities team in Torbay Council as well, with the CCTV system at Torbay Council run and everything, everybody talks together. We've got a fantastic radio system that runs across some of the towns. That's really, really good, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if we can just get past the data protection issues, DTAC hopefully in the new year up and running will make a considerable improvement for everybody who's got a business in Torbay.
You'll have to come back and talk to us more about DTAC and how to get involved as the time goes by. So theoretically you're only sort of 2 or 3 months away from that.
All being well.
Brilliant. All right. We are going to be doing, well, I think actually we'll do it right now. Actually, we'll do one of these.
The 140-second pitch. Sponsored by Torbay Discount Card. Torbay's community discount card.
140 seconds to tell us about your business, what you do. Maybe it is an event. We certainly want to know more about you and your contact details. The next one this evening is from Hospice Care. And your 140 seconds pick starts now.
Hello, my name is Pick Rawlings, and with Tony Locke from One Umbrella Music, we are proud to run the Twitter account @HelpHospiceCare on behalf of the Teens Supporting Hospice Care group of young Devon musicians. These are 11 teenage singer-songwriters and musicians and photographer using their passion for music to raise awareness and funds for the Hospice Care East Devon Day Hospice Appeal. They have already raised £300 towards a garden at the hospice, due to open in 2015. The next Teen Support Hospice Care gig is this Saturday, the 8th of November, from 1 o'clock at Otter Nurseries, or the Christmas special gig on Sunday the 21st of December at the Kingsbridge Inn, Totnes. These young singer-songwriters and musicians have been finalists in many national competitions such as Open Mic UK. Their names are Aspen, Aaron Samuel, Arthur Burrow, Alex Gregory, Holly Morwenner, Finn Talisker, Rosa Bell, Yazzie, Zach Ward, Rosie Weber and Savannah Cam. We're really proud of these young musicians and for all they're doing to raise awareness and funds for the hospice care charity, please contact us at Help Hospice Care should you want them to sing for you. Many thanks.
So we're obviously very keen to promote music in South Devon as well. How do you find working with musicians in this area? Is it really good?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, most of these kids don't actually live in East Devon. They're just happy to use their skills to provide a hospice in an area that hasn't got a hospice. In fact, most of these kids live in areas that are actually well served by Torbay or Exeter hospices. So I think it's even more visible to think that they've actually gone out of their way to support people that actually haven't got the hospice service at their fingertips. I'm so proud of these musicians.
So this is kind of win-win, really, isn't it? Because they can get some work out of it and you can get your support out of it too.
Absolutely. Well, they love doing it. They don't want to do anything else. They love performing. And it's absolutely fantastic because it means that they can use their skills and passions and people will listen, sit up, take notice and listen to the message that they're giving and also raise some really valuable funds. And the fact that it's going into a garden at the hospice, I think, is fantastic because it's symbolic of the growing talent and the growing hospice.
Pete, give us the contact details again really quickly before we run out of time.
At Help Hospice Care, but it's hospice with an S before the care. At Help Hospice Care.
Yep, second 142nd tweet of the night. There you go, our 142nd tweet. Pitch your business, get in touch during the week. It could be you next week.
The 142nd pitch. Sponsored by Torbay Discount Card. Torbay's community discount card.
It's the TorbayHour radio show, 10 to 9 right now. We've got Sergeant Sheps, a prolific tweeter, constantly tweeting.
I worry about that, really.
Well, I always look forward every morning to see the scores on the doors and see
scores on the cell block doors.
Yeah, that's right. I like that.
Yeah, well, it just gives a flavour of what's going on around Devon, doesn't it? Really? who's got the naughtiest town tonight?
Well, yeah, but you see, the thing is, you kind of want it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because you kind of want the scores to be low, so you know you're in a crime-free area. But when you suddenly see you're right at the top there, you're thinking, well, hang on a second, what's going on?
Now, you see, I like it the other way around, and people do that all the time. They tweet to me and say, "Oh, it's terrible. We've got all this thing," and I say to them, "No, you've got hard-working boys and girl cops out there doing a really good job and taking the bad guys off the street. You should feel safer."
Well done.
Well, that's completely sort of changed my perception there overnight. I like that. It's good. So listen, we were talking off air about passwords, and we're getting all excited about biometric security and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm still not sold on biometric security yet. I'll be swayed on that one when I buy a device that's got one. I can't afford a device like that. I'm obviously not a radio presenter. But passwords, love them or hate them. They're there everywhere. Every system you use has got them and everything like that. There is a new site. I don't normally promote the Home Office because, I just don't. But it's called cyberstreetwise.com at the moment. Right. And it's really pushing passwords and how they should be done. And what they're basically saying to you is, if you're using normal words, yes, like password 123, that's always a good one. Or,
there's mine gone.
You see, one off, ABC 123, or QWERTY, that's a good one. The top level of the key, you need to sort it out. You need to have random words, literally random words. You need to change some of the letters for numbers. So, like if you've got an O in the password, change it for a 0.
Okay.
If you've got an L, change it for a 1. If you've got an E, change it for a 3. You just make the system a lot harder. There are professional hackers out there. All they do all day is just run password list after password list, and basically if you've got an insecure password at some point, you're going to get hacked.
Right. That's a scary thing, isn't it? Because so much of our lives now is turning digital. Whether as a business, if you're filing your VAT return, you do that online now. Pretty much, I think all businesses do that online. Whether it's your bank account, even your loyalty cards and stuff like that have got logins. And the challenge really is keeping enough different passwords so that when someone gets one, they haven't got your whole life.
Absolutely, and that is the challenge. And what they're saying is you need to pick a figure or somebody, I don't know, like your mum, say, but rather than using her name, think about 3 things about your mum, that you could use. So, tall, slim, beautiful. And then use that as your password. So it would be tall, slim, beautiful. Then put some capital letters in there, change some of those letters to numbers, put a couple of exclamation marks at the end or at the beginning, and all of a sudden from 100 million combinations, you've gone up to 1 million combinations, and it's going to take a hacker a hell of a long time to get through that.
Right. Okay. That is good advice. Now, we're frighteningly enough, this hour has gone so fast. We're coming up to 5 to 9. We need to start recapping some of the websites you've given us and the information. So in case people haven't got them down, you prepare that. Martin, tell us what's going on the feed this evening.
Right, so we got another newbie, Moderate or Good. They're letterpress and badges from Devon in England's sunny southwest. Devon Hour have been on there. They've been on all night. They're a bit upset because we beat them on the Facebook this week. So
more sports stats, isn't it? It's like, oh dear, I've got more likes.
I'll just rub that in a little bit.
Yeah. Come on.
And Totnes Jelly, they're on. They've just realised they're 5 followers away from 200. So give them a follow. They're always good. TQ Squash, can we get more likers for their Facebook page? And Marketing Geeks, that's the lady from Horizon Centre there. She's really pleased with herself, so good luck to her.
That's a bit harsh, really pleased with herself. We're going to have more from her, actually, in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, we'll get her on. So, Sergeant Sheps, then, recap then, if you would not mind, some of the sites you've given us tonight and remind us what they're all for.
Okay, immobilise.com. You can register your techie gadgets, your bikes and things like that. You can even upload photographs, so that means should the unfortunate happen they be stolen, every police force has got access to that database, and hopefully we can reunite your goods very, very quickly.
What happens when you change? So say your contract changes, you sell your phone on an auction site or something like that, what do you do?
As simple as anything, you just can delete it off the database. It's as simple as that.
And presumably there's a password to get onto the database.
Oh, yes. Of course there is.
Yes.
Next one is Check Mend. That's where you have to actually, unfortunately, pay a little bit of money, but you can check to see whether the device you are buying is stolen or blocked. Always a good thing, because if you just bought £400 worth of second-hand phone and find it's been stolen, it'll go back to the original owner most of the time, and you'll be £400 out of pocket.
And presumably, I mean, we didn't really touch on this. One of the other things is to be aware of where you're actually buying the product from. Some guy in the pub offers you a phone at a ridiculous price. There's an issue.
Yeah,
if you're buying it from a shop, or I guess some of the auction sites are a bit of a grey area, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, you've got lots of auction sites now, eBay, Gumtree, all those sort of things. Is that thing? What I would be asking the person who's selling is, give me the IMEI number, and then I can check it.
Right.
And if they're not prepared to give you the IMEI number, I really wouldn't be buying it.
Good. Okay.
Next one is cyberstreetwise.com. That was all about your password protection. It's also got a really useful part about kids and kids online, but that's a whole different subject, and I think we could have another hour on that. And the last one is actionfraud.police.uk. That is a police-owned website. It has the absolute up-to-date stuff about cybercrime, the latest scams, the latest problems. It's literally flashed up today. If you're having an Android phone, if you've got an Android phone, beware, there's a new bit of software that's come out. It looks like a text message. If you touch it, it's going to steal everything on your phone.
Right. But it seems to me that as soon as someone can come up with an idea, there is someone there who can try and turn it into something bad.
Absolutely, and that's going to happen. That's life, that's technology. It's just a case of trying to keep one step ahead, and Action Fraud is definitely a very, very good place to start to protect yourself.
Now, as business people, as a business community in Torbay and South Devon, what is there, and this is going to be the impossible question really, is there one piece of advice? Is it back to Shaw Taylor, keep them peeled, a sort of common sense approach? What can we do to reduce the risk of crime?
Do you know what? The good thing about Torbay is that the actual shops and the community, although they may be in business against each other for whatever products they sell, things like this, talk to each other. Pass that information, pass it to your local bobby, pass it to people like myself, and if we all talk together and pass it backwards and forwards, what we actually do is build up a fantastic shield which protects all of us.
Right, I like that. It's good. What do we got coming in?
Right, I've just done all of those websites that Sergeant Sheps was talking about. I've tried to write them down and I've posted them to TorbayHour. They've just retweeted it, so they're all out there if you've missed them. What else have we got going on? Huntley Lettings, they've got another tenant welcome to their new home. We've also got who was it? I've lost it now. Baggy 1986, I think it was. They're looking for letting agents, so to work with. So if you are a letting agent listening in, then get in touch with them. Sorry, I've lost the tweet to say exactly what you do. So, and then I've just lost everything. The cake's distracted me today.
That's the last time I bring cake in for you boys.
It's terrible, yeah. So what I tell you what, the flip side of what I just asked you is, what can we do for you as a police service, a police force, constabulary, whatever you are today, what can we do to make your life easier to look after us?
Exactly the same. If you think you see something, if you think you heard something, pass that information. If you're not happy about talking to your local police service or your local bobby, Don't know why, because we're all lovely people. Crime Stoppers. Everything's anonymous, and we always get that information. Intelligence is our lifeblood. Everything we do is actually generated by the public. Very little is generated by ourselves. It's people that tell us what's going on. And without you boys and girls out there, we wouldn't be an effective service.
And presumably as well, the thing about staying safe, don't take any risks.
No, there's never a reason to take any risks at all. You know, just look after yourselves, look after each other, and if you're in any doubt, worried about anything, contact us. We're always here to help.
Okay, cool. So remind us of the numbers. Crime Stoppers, dead simple number.
0800 555 111.
Okay. And there's a non-emergency. How is that working out for you? Everyone's familiar with 999. How is the non-emergency number working out?
I've got to be very careful what I say here, because I'm no doubt one of my bosses is probably listening. 101 has had its issues. It's still having some issues. I know there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to recruit more staff, get them better trained, etc. Especially now some of our front offices are closed. But at the end of the day, don't forget, you can always go online. If you go onto the Devon and Cornwall website, there is an actual place there where you can communicate with us. You can even report crime. You can report lost and found property. You can do so much online, and it's so much quicker.
Unless, of course, you've just had your phone nicked.
Yeah, then you're in trouble.
Then you're in trouble, aren't you? Thank you so much for coming in. It has been interesting. It's been fast as well. This hour has just flown
Crazy.
by. You're going to have to come back. You
Devon,
realise
2
that?
hours.
Devon, 2 hours. Yeah, we're doing that very soon.
Torbay.
Sorry, slap wrist.
Yeah. Channel, we will be back next Monday night at 8 o'clock for another TorbayHour radio show. As I say, chance to hear it again online. If you've got any questions, any suggestions for the show, any suggestions for guests, please let us know. We could be featuring you on a future show. It's 9 o'clock. That's it.
Goodbye.
Night.
The TorbayHour radio show, brought to you by the Babacom Inn Christmas Party Night.